Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cheap Haass. We are currently on our way to Saudi Arabia. We got 11 days until then. In the last episode, we took a 10th and a 12th place starting position and turned it into absolutely no points and a bunch of penalties. So we are hoping for a slightly better showing heading on into this episode. All right, so I know in the last episode we did spend $3 million on parts developments, but I think we're going to do a little bit more just because we just started the new ATR period. We have 56 days in the ATR period. And I think this is going to be the last update we're going to do in a minute. We're just going to click over here. We're going to just max these out completely. And we're going to have these on the car, hopefully by Baku. And if worse, it's not for Baku, it's going to be for Miami. It's also something that's going to help for Imola as well. Just that little bit of top speed helping out there. It's kind of our lowest areas, trying to kind of keep the car as mid-pack as possible for the time being. So we're going to go to the design focus here, and we're just going to mess with the sliders just a little bit. So this is what we're going with, just some slight changing around. I really don't want to do minimum lifespan. I know it's one of those things where I want to keep lowering it, but that's something I can't do. If I slide it all the way up, it's just going to tank our performance and makes the development not even make sense. So we're just going to put it in the middle, and this will probably be our only rear wing upgrade for the season. So yeah, engineers, we're going to put the rest of our engineers on here. It's going to take 31 days, and it'll be ready. Won't be ready for Melbourne, but we'll be ready for Baku. All right, so our race simulator just got installed, and we are going to immediately spend another 2.8 million on it. So for our cost cap, for what we're our budgeting is for this area, we now have 12.12 million to spend on facilities for the rest of the year. All right, so we have a little problem here for Teo. Teo wants to skip his sponsor obligation. Help his morale, but we're gonna say no because money. All right, so Max Verstappen gets on pole to Red Bull 1-2, and then we got Teo Porcher all the way into Q3, and he actually is going to qualify 8th. That's going to be good for him on a starting position. If we look down here, Pelot is in 12th, so he did a good job getting into Q2. So yeah, we got both cars out of Q1, so good job from us. Let's hope we can keep it up in the race. All right, so looking at our strategy for the race, we have Porcher going to medium hards, and then we have Pelot going soft hard. So what we're hoping for here is that that hard tire can last and is a good tire for the race. I'm just hoping that's the case. You did a good job in practice. I simulated through, but I was tweaking on the setup, but 100%, 96%, so pretty good there. So hopefully the drivers have good confidence and they're able to perform here in the first coming laps. And yeah, on to the start of the race.
The drivers are lined up on the grid here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, preparing for 50 flat-out laps under the lights. Here's a determined Sainz lining up on the grid.
To get back from P9 up towards the front, it's going to be a case of executing their strategy well and keeping it clean.
We out-qualified him.
But just what will happen here, your guess is as good as mine. We're now moments away from this.
We were proving the dream here by out-qualifying Sainz.
And it's lights out, and away we go.
All right, so we're going to skip this up to 2 times speed. Just kind of see how these first couple laps go. So we're getting overtaken by Sainz. That's to be expected. But we are underweight with the fuel. We are going to be struggling with race pace. That seems to be our big kicker here. All right, so we are now down to 10th, and Pelot is in 13th. Expecting Pelot to be able to kind of get up and challenge and do something, but it seems to not be the case. All right, and we are close to... Oh, man. Gasly's right on us here. Want to hold on until we get DRS. Oh man, that was a send there by Albon. We need that to slow those two down. For share. 0.1 back, and we're going to put them on deploy just for the final part of this lap. We're also going to put Pillow. Pillow seems to be in a little pack here, so we're going to let him do that. We're actually going to even put him up on aggressive on the tires. Hoping he can close down that extra 0.2 or so in this sector here. Kind of curious to see what tires everyone else is running. So everyone in front of us has softs. So that's going to be difficult for us to keep up with. We need to catch Gasly. Come back here, Pierre. Alright, so we're in the DRS right now. I'm going to wait until that says DRS lights up for me to switch him down to neutral. Waiting for this little thing right here. We're going to get it, and we've broken Albon. So we've got that, so we're going to go neutral, and we're going to go standard on the tires. We're going to go jump back with Pillow, see what Pillow's doing. Pillow is just off of the DRS of the car in front of him, which is Gasly. We're going to let him DRS battle assist. I forgot to do that with both of them. Alright, Porsche seems to be holding on good here. Porsche's just outside of the range. I know Below just fell outside the range as well. We've got a car inside of us right now. And we're going to put him onto neutral. Alright. Move this up to 8 times speed here. So Porsche is holding on to Gasly. Just need to focus on our tire our tire stint length over the rest of the stint, and we're able to kind of latch on to Gasly at least a little bit. Good. Looks like Tsunoda has gotten by. All right, so we're gonna put this on 2 times. We're gonna jump on with Porsche here. We're gonna tell him to deploy. Alright, we're gonna put him on a neutral. Tsunoda has... Man, I just want to keep pushing, but can't do that. And Albon seems to be catching us just a little bit each lap. So Pillow, 14th place. He's at least behind Tsunoda. At least it seems like they have a bit of a train going with Tsunoda, Albon, and Pillow. Holding off Bottas, at least for the meantime. Pillow's tires are looking okay. We're not really overdoing it here. Maybe a little bit under the line. Gonna look away, and Porsche is now bleeding time persistently to the Gasly out front. I just don't think we have the pace to really compete with him. Hopefully we can get him on the long run here on the strategy. Pillow's tires are looking all right. As mentioned before, he's just kind of stuck in that DRS drain. I'm going to see if I can maybe jump on board with him and see if I can micromanage him. As he seems to be... That is not Porsche. This is Pillow. Who I was meant to be with. Alright. Gets chopped off there. Let's put him on harvest for a lap or 2. Hopefully he doesn't lose DRS with cars in front. It looks like he's at risk of doing that, so we're gonna put him on to neutral. We're gonna have to put him on deploy for at least a second. just want that to say DRS activated once. Man, we might have just screwed him out of DRS. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess the thing for this year maybe is to have your driver sit and top up behind people instead of harvest, because the DRS was strong enough in the previous game to allow you to do that. Pourchaire is just kind of in a no man's land by himself. We're not really pushing to get anything out of anybody around him. Yeah, and Pillow I think is too far behind. We've got Norris behind us. We're just going to go neutral and see if Norris will get by us. We're going to go 8 times speed here. And maybe if Norris gets by us, we can use that pace to catch up to Sonoda. You can see here Pourchaire is all by himself. Just a little 16 times here. The pit window is open for Pillow. I don't think we're going to do that yet. He's still closing in a little bit on Sonoda. His tires, he's a little bit behind on tires. Looks like we're doing a little bit worse on our wear than we are projected to. Pourchaire moves up ahead of a couple people. It looks like Bottas pitted. Or was it Porsche? No, it was Ocon. So hopefully for his sake. Alright, so we're gonna ignore that. Quick. Okay, 1 time speed. This is good. Alright. Optimal pit lap. I agree. Alright, so we're gonna tell him to attack. Why are we going so slow?
Mode push. Yeah, copy.
Deploy.
Mode
Pit
push.
options.
Copy.
Seems to be struggling with his tires a lot.
Box now, box now. Copy, box.
Right before Pillow pits, we will pause. We'll go on to standard and neutral. Actually, we'll let him come out and I'd be aggressive just to get the tire temperatures up. Russell has a pit stop issue. All right. Pit window is open for Pourchaire. Pourchaire is just kind of going to be sitting there just for a little bit. We're going to let him get these, get these tires up into the range. Putting him on standard here.
And
There's a...
Yes, we have. We've had a crash. What happened there?
All right, not one of our drivers. All right, looks like Joe and 21, I think, is DeFries. All right, so it's the right front wing of, or left front wing of Nick DeFries. A little 4 times here. We're looking here. DeFries has a penalty of 5 seconds, so we're actually in range of being able to do something with that. Ocon takes Pourchaire. Gotcha. Alright, so Pourchaire, we're just sitting here until he gets into his optimal pit lap, which is going to be pretty soon. Alright. We're going to have him attack. Go full deploy. Or actually, we're not going to have him do that. We're going to sit him and have him top up at least a little bit here on this lap. Because hopefully he'll still have the, or he won't have the DRS of Hamilton. So never mind. He's going to be pitting in at the end of this lap. We're going to put him on standard. Actually, we need to put him on, oh, I forgot to do the pit options. Firm pit. Hopefully that's his lap. Yeah, there you go. No, he didn't go in. Dang it. So extended by 1 lap. We're going to have him still attack on these tires. At that final corner, we're going to tell him to go standard. He's on neutral, so that's okay. So we're going to have, like I said, aggressive push out of the box. Let's get some temperatures in the tires. All right, we look like we're doing a little bit better in Pit stop
Now,
issues.
what happened there, Karun?
It's the Haas making the stop. Oh, but something's not right. Oh dear.
Dang it. I wonder if they have the crew that's sitting on pit road reacting to that. Alright, so we're having him push until the tires are good, and then we're going to have him go on to standard. So Sonoda gets by us, so we just got knocked back to where Sonoda is currently. Since we're hanging in the DRS of Sonoda, we're just going to have him top up on the DRS here. What's Pillow doing? Pillow is about 5 seconds back, so we can't have him do that. Porsche is kind of sitting there, just going to have him top up. Alright, since we're in a little bit of a waiting game, we're going to wait for actually Pillow to get to Albon, it looks like. Is he going to catch Albon, or is Albon catching? No, Albon's catching Porsche. Alright. Alright, Porsche just got ahead. We're going to have him go into neutral. We're actually going to jump on board with him here. Alright, we're going to have him deploy. We're going to let him go aggressive on the tires, as well as a yellow flag. What is that for?
Not totally sure what's happened. Seems to be Perez, though.
Uh-oh. Oh, Perez
Down the straight.
and Alonso.
Barely any room to maneuver. And you can see
Oh, so
how the
did he
cars
have-
come together.
does he have floor
That will
damage?
have knocked their confidence, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's floor damage that I just saw. Look at Perez here. Does Perez have floor damage?
Let's pick up the pace.
Yeah, that looks like some floor damage right there. Maybe it's not. No, that's just the normal sides. All right, back on board with Porsche. Porsche is close enough to Norris to make a pass here. We're gonna go to this view as well. Just pitting in. I'm going to neutral. All right, so we're going to use below as our gauge on what we need to be worrying about with our tires. All right, Porsche is just outside of the DRS zone of Sonoda. So that is good. So, and we're going to see what below is going on. Okay, so below having a bit of a no man's land at the moment. We're just going to have him hold neutral there. And yeah, we're going to let Porsche push. Yeah, Bottas is slowly catching below. Right. Porsche is he's doing good enough on his tires. I'm not super worried. We're going to go 16 times speed here. I'm just going to see if I see anything. We're going to put Porsche onto neutral or standard just for a couple laps. Hopefully won't let Albon behind catch up. Flo gets overtaken by Norris, and we're going to actually jump on board with him. We're actually going to see if we can get him to stick within the DRS a little bit. So we're going to have him deploy. We'll keep him on standard. And yeah, we're going to have to worry about our fuel here in a minute or two. not working for or below. I'm having so much trouble pronouncing their names correctly. So we're gonna just do a little 8 times here and just let him serve up a bunch of that. We're gonna actually put both of them on conserve just for a couple laps as well. Just on the fuel, just to make sure that we can get it to like 0.2 or something. All right, Blow is good on his ERS. All right, 0.1, and we're gonna put them both on balance. They got 7 laps left. Polo for share, sorry, is 21 seconds behind, so we would need someone to have a cataclysmic problem for us to be in contention. I'm gonna put this at 810 speed for a minute. I think we can put share back onto push. He's at least closing in on Russell. Alright, so we're going to have both of these guys go attack. Too much tire left, I feel like. Alright, we're going to go last lap. We are not close to anybody, so we're going to go jump on board with Flo here, who I think is going to have the most time left on track. We're just going to do a little micromanagement. Deploy. A little deploy. See what we're doing here. Alright, so Polo is 15th. You can see that Pourchaire should be crossing the line here. Pourchaire has one more lap to go, so we're going to jump on board with Pourchaire.
Max Verstappen over the finish line and today's winner.
And maybe we should have just been pushing on our tires for longer.
There's been a crash.
There's a crash. Is that behind us? Yep, it's 19th, 18th.
And the impact on the car,
man.
It's quite clear. And that won't do their confidence any good.
Where are they at? Oh, they're both out. Man, I wish those were the cars in front of us.
Oh dear, a crash. There's been a crash.
Is it the same crash? Yeah, it's the same crash. Man, that was a big little wreck there for those guys. Alright, so 11th place.
Well, that was a truly awful day at the office for the Haas driver.
Wasn't that bad.
You know, I don't think many would have expected to see them finishing outside the top 10. They'll be aiming much higher than that, I assure you.
And no doubt, Verstappen fans will be celebrating the Dutchman's achievement.
That gives them their first win of the season, and it was really well deserved.
We're flipping around real life here.
The drivers can relax after an eventful weekend at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Alrighty, so your results from that race, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, Stroll, Ocon, Alonso, Gasly, and then Russell. Moving on to outside of the points, us. So we finished 15 seconds behind. That's not that bad. Maybe we should have done some more management on our tires, maybe used up a little bit more. But I don't see us cutting down 15 seconds by just pushing a little bit harder on a hard compounded tire. But I would say that's a good result, but not, not points, which is the main goal. All right, so looking at your Drivers' Championship, Verstappen overtakes Perez. Sainz moves ahead of Alonso. Hamilton moves up. Gasly. It looks like the same 10 drivers have scored points in the first 2 races, so it looks like we really need to figure out a way to get up and amongst the Alpine and the Mercedes. It seems like they are the, like I mentioned before, they're the gateway into the points because McLaren, look at the constructor standings. Yeah, we have 5 teams, McLaren, Haas, Williams, Alfa Romeo, and AlphaTauri that have not scored 8 points. But Red Bull, unsurprisingly, are on top. All right, so looking at the pit stop DHL award, I did not realize how important this is for the season. So we are bottom 3 with Williams, which is interesting. Man. So maybe if we'd pushed a little bit better, we would have been within maybe 4 seconds of maybe 4-ish seconds if we had used up our tires a little bit more for Porsche. So I'm not too happy, or not too unhappy with finishing 11th, especially considering everything that happened. So as long as we keep pushing how we are, we would have maybe been in contention for points. And if we keep doing that every single race, we'll more than likely get, you know, a couple points finishes. All right, so that concludes episode 2 of Cheap Haass. We had a very, very strong running there with our drivers. We did a lot of good work, just making sure that we weren't throwing it away. Qualifying, we still did good. Porsche had a fantastic weekend, all things considered. No, it wasn't a points finish, but nothing that we should be too upset with. We spent a little bit more money. We didn't really do anything crazy. And I know we're using up a bit of our budgets, but I feel like that initial kind of splash in the beginning of the year is going to be really important. And then just kind of coasting into the remainder of the year is potentially what we're going to have to do to just to not run out of money, which is probably going to be the fun part of this. So yeah, we'll have a better showing out in Australia, hopefully. Maybe we can get one of those elusive points finishes, because I feel like we need to at least luck into a handful of those this year to not get fired. So hope you all have a good rest of your day, have a good rest of your week, and peace.